Hello everyone. So today's topic is going to be on named ACL, right? So as we have already seen in the previous videos, we have discussed about the standard ACL and the extended ACL. So today we are just going to talk about the named ACL, and we are just going to see what all differences we have if we compare it with the standard ACL and the extended ACL. So all those things we are just going to see it in detail, right? So let me just share my screen to you, and we will see it practically, right? So let me just open my packet tracer, and then we will see like how do we configure this named ACL, and what all differences we have. So before we get into the practical, let me just give you an example. Like as we have already discussed about the standard ACL and the extended ACL. So the range for the standard ACL is 1 to 99, that we have already discussed in the previous video, and the range for this extended ACL is like 100 to 199. But in the case of this named ACL, we are not going to make use of this number. Instead of that, we are just going to make it. We are just going to give one name to the ACL, and what would be the benefit of creating the named ACL, that we are just going to see it now, right? So let me just take two routers into my screen. This is router 1, this is router 2. Basically I am just going to create two different network, so we will see the communication. And let me just take the switch also, so that I can connect my AND devices with the switches. And I am going to take two devices for this network, and two devices for this network. Let me just make the communication with the help of this automatic cable. So I hope you guys are already aware of like what automatic cable is and how do we do the communication, how do we assign the IP address to the end devices. If you still have any doubt related to these things, so I would suggest you to like go and watch my previous video, that is totally for the beginners, in which uh, I have given you the detailed explanation of like what all network devices we have and what all end devices we have and how do we connect the cables and all. So those things are already explained in my previous video. And if you guys have still any doubt, then you can just put it down in the comment section. I will just see the comment and accordingly I will answer you. So let me just make the connection to this device also. And I am just going to make the connection between my first router to the second router. So all our topology is absolutely clear now. So what we are going to do, we are just going to put the objective also, and then we are going to see what we are going to do. Right. So here we are just going to make use of this two network. So that would be 2, and this is going to be 1, and here I am just going to make use of, let's say, 50.0.0.0. This is my first network, and this side I am just going to take it as, let's say, 100.0.0.0, or let's say 151, right? So let me just put the IP address to the end devices also. First of all, I am just going to mention the what all IP addresses I am going to use for my end devices, and later on I'll just put the IP address into the devices separately. So here I am just going to make use of 2, because I am going to give 50.0.0.1 to my router. So that is why I have taken this as 2 and this is 3. Here I am going to make use of 151.0.0, or because this is class B address, so I'll just take it at 151.10.2.2. so here I will take it as 151.10.2.0, right? So here I will take it as, so if you guys have any confusion with this IP address 151.10.2.0, so this particular IP belongs to class C, right? And you already know that like in class C we have like 4 octets are there as a default, and 3 octets are already reserved. 24, like it's a /24 value, right? So here I'm going to just give 151.10.2.3. so this is our topology, right? So let me just give the IP address to the end devices first, then we will move on to our router's configuration. So here for this device I'm just going to put the IP address. So if anybody is having any doubt in configuring the IP address in the end device, so I'm just going to explain it once more time. Guys, you just need to double click on the end device, then you have to go to the IP configuration, and here you can specify the IP address like 50.0.0.2, and I'm going to take this as my gateway because I'm just going to assign this IP address to my router, right? Same thing I'm going to do with this device also. I'll just go to the desktop, IP configuration, and I'll just give the IP address to this device also. And here I'm going to take 50.0.0.1. I will close this. Same thing I'm going to do for my different network also. Here I'm going to give it as 151.10.2.2, and the gateway would be 151.10.2.1. I hope this is clear. Let me just put the IP for this device also. So this is going to be 151.10.2.3, right? So guys, there is one mistake, so which I am going to correct it right away. 151, it's a type of error. 151.10.2.1, so it is going to be 10, right? So IP addresses has been successfully assigned to all the devices, right? So let me just go to the router. So I'm just going to name this router as, let's say, New Delhi, and my other router is, let's say, belongs to Bangalore, so I'll just put it as Bangalore. This is Bangalore and this is New Delhi, right? So let me just go to my router 1, that is New Delhi. I'll just come to the CLI, and here I will say no. I will enable it, right? Then configure a terminal. Host name, we just set the name of the router with the help of this hostname command, New Delhi, right? Now I'm going to configure both the interface on this New Delhi router. So as you can see, we are having two interfaces, FA0/0 and FA0/1. So on FA0/1 we have to assign this IP address, and on FA0/0 we are going to take the IP address as 50.0.0.1. So let me just configure this fast Ethernet 0/0 interface FA0/0 and IP address 50.0.0.1, and as you know that like subnet mask would be 255.255.255.0 because this is class A, and I'm going to make it up with the help of this no shut command. So this interface is up, Let me just save the configuration. Now let me just go to my other interface, right? Same thing I am going to do here also. I am just going to assign the IP address 2.2.2.1, right? 255.0.0.0, right? This belongs to class A only, and I will make it up, right? So this configuration is saved. Let me just go to my other router, that is Bangalore, and let me just do the configuration here also. So I will say no. I will enable my router, configure terminal, interface FA 0/1. As you can see this, guys, this is our FA 0/1. This is also called fast Ethernet 0/1. So here we are just going to assign this IP address. So I will assign the IP address 2.2.2.2, and the subnet mask is going to be the same because we are not going to do any subnetting here. I will make it up with the help of no shut command. So this interface is in the up state. I have one more interface which is still down, so let me just configure the IP address in that interface also. So interface FA 0/0 IP address 151.10.2.1, and we are going to use the subnet mask as the class C subnet mask, right? I will make it up. So as you can see this, guys, like everything is fine now. So all our devices are in the up state, right? Now first of all we are just going to do the basic troubleshooting before get into the detailed way. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to ping from this device to my router first, and I'll see if we are able to communicate it or not. So let me just open my PC and just let me drag it, and I will try to ping ping 50.0.0.1. So guys, you can see that like we are successfully able to ping the router, and let me just try to ping my other interface also 2.2.2.1. that is also getting pinging because it's a directly connected network, right? Let me just ping it once again so that you can see this is also pinging. Now let me try to ping this interface 2.2.2.2. So as you can see this, it is not pinging, right? Because this router is only aware about two networks, 2.2.2.2.1 and this 50.0, because that IP is on a different interface. So once we do the routing, then it will start communicating, right? So I'm going to do the same thing for this network also. I will try to ping my gateway and we will check. This is the basic troubleshooting, guys. Ping 151.10.2.1. So successfully we are able to communicate to the router. Now first of all we have to do the routing, right? Because we have to communicate to a different network. So that is what we make use of this router, right? So as far as the routing is concerned, we have already seen in the previous video, we have different routings: static routing, right? Default routing, right? We have also speak about this RIP version 1, RIP version 2. We have also talked about this EIGRP, right? So today we are just going to make use of this static route. We are just going to do the static route, and as far as the static route is concerned, it has to be configured by the administrator manually, right? So let me just go to my this device where I have to do the static routing, and I will come here. So let me just show you the IP route command first, so that you can just see what all routes we have. So we can check it with the help of this do show IP route. if we are in the global configuration mode. If we are in the privilege mode, then we can just get it through this show IP route. So guys, as you can see this, we are only having the network of 50 and 2, right? We are only having these networks, right? One second guys, one second, give me a moment please. Sorry guys. Right, so we were talking about the default route which are available at my New Delhi router. So as you can see this, we are only having two routes, default routes, right, directly connected routes. One network we have of 2, and the other network which is directly connected to this router is 50 network, right? So we don't have the route for the other network, right? So that is what we are just going to do, the default static routing, right? So to do the static routing, we make use of this command IP route, right? Just a second guys, IP route, and we just want to get this route, right, on this New Delhi interface, IP route, and we'll have to mention the network 151.10.2.0, right? 255.255.255.0, and we have to give this address, because whenever we are sending any request for this particular network, so this router is going to forward the request to this router, right? 2.2.2.2. Let me just show you the IP route once again. So guys, as you can see this, we have successfully added the static route into our router 1, that is New Delhi. So the same thing we have to do in the other router also. So let me just save the configuration, then we will move to the other router. So I am into my another router, that is Bangalore, and I'm just going to perform the same command, IP route. And because this router is not aware about this 50 network, let me just show you. As you can see this particular router, this Bangalore router, is only aware about the network of 2, which is the directly connected, and the 151. So there is no entry for this network, right? As you see this, there is no 50 network. So that is what we are just going to do, the static routing. We are going to do the routing with the help of this static route today, right? And we have other ways also to do the routing also, like we can do it through the RIP version 1 also, we can make use of RIP version 2 also, we can make use of EIGRP also, we can make use of OSPF also. So I'll be coming up with a lecture on OSPF in my next video, right? So let me just do the routing. 50.0.0.0, and the subnet mask would be 0.0.0. This is the subnet mask for class A, and who is going to serve this? So this particular IP is going to serve this network, right? 2.2.2.1. Let me just show you the IP route once again. So guys, as you can see this, we have successfully added one static route in router 2 also, that is Bangalore. Now let me just save the configuration. Now if I will try to ping from here to here, so I should get the reply, right? Let me just ping it. Earlier we were not getting the reply. One second guys, I will ping it here. Ping, let me just make it clear, 2.2.2.2. So as you can see this guys, we are successfully able to ping it. That is only because of the routing which we have enabled in both the devices. So let me try to ping any of the device, this one. So ping 151.10.2.2. So we are able to ping the end device also. We can check with the other end also. If we will try to ping from here to this PC, so we should also get the reply. One second guys, let me just put it here, and ping 50.0.0.2. So as you can see this, we are successfully able to communicate between two different networks with the help of this static routing, right? Now as per the topic, like as I told you in the beginning, we are just going to talk about named ACL today, right? So let me just make it named ACL. Topic for the discussion is named ACL, right? So what is our objective? What exactly we want to do, that we will mention it here. Objective. So our objective is we should not be able to ping from this device to this device, right? So 50.0.0.2 should not ping 151.10.2.3. Guys, please hold for a second. Sorry guys. So our objective of today is like this particular IP, this particular device 50.0.0.2 should not ping this device, right? So that is our concern is. So that we have already seen in the previous videos in which we have talked about this standard ACL and the extended ACL. So we are just going to talk more about this ACL in a detailed way, so that you will be able to understand what is the difference between the standard, extended and the named ACL, right? So let me just go to this router where we are just going to create the ACL, right? So here I'm going to, first of all, the first change is earlier we used to make use of this access list, right? So we are not going to make use of this access list because it is going to be a named ACL, right? If you go with this way, then you will have to like specify the ACL number, whether it is a like standard one or the extended one. If you will put any name, then it is going to give you error. Let's say test. See this is giving you an error, unrecognized command. So it is not going to recognize any alphabets. So that is what we have to make use of, IP access list, right? We are going to make use of extended. Then we are just going to give it a name, right? So let's say ping, I'm just going to give it a name, ping block, right? This is the name of my named ACL, ping block. If I'll put the question mark, then it is showing you CR. CR means carrier return, but it means there is no command afterwards, right? So I will say enter here. So in this case, what we can do is, if you just press the question mark here, so you can see this, like we can permit or we can deny the traffic here, right? But the main thing I just wanted to tell you here is that, like, here we can define the number of our own choice also, right? If we are not going to define the number, then system is going to take the number. So I'm not going to define it here. So I'll be going with the number which is going to be taken by the system only. So I'm just going to make use of this deny, right? Which protocol I just want to deny? ICMP. So we have the option, like we want to block it for any particular host, or we want to block it for like any source, any destination, right? So we are just going to block it for one particular host, and the host IP address is, right? And if I put the question mark, and we have to mention the destination address, right? So I'll just make it host and it should not go to this 151.10.2.3, right? So ACL has been created. So if I show you, so as you can see, this one entry has been added automatically. Now the benefit of creating this named ACL is like we can add any entry before this number 10. This number has been taken by the system automatically. So I'll show you how we can take any number, right? So we can put, let's say, we can take number of any number of your choice. Let's say I just want to take 5, right? Permit ICMP any do show. As you can see this, so this number has been added, and if we want to delete any number, if we want to delete any ACL, so that is also possible in this case, which is not possible in this standard and extended ACL in a normal way, right? Without the named ACL, right? So no 5. If I want to remove, so I'll just put the command like this: to show access, to show access list. As you can see this, that entry has been removed. Guys, please give me a moment, please. Sorry guys, so we are just going to see, because just now we have created a access list on one of our router named New Delhi. So let me just show you. Show access list. So this is the access list which we have just now created, right? So let me tell you one thing, like by default in the case of this access list, it is going to deny everything, right? So we'll have to make it permit, because we have like created one access list named 10, and we are just going to deny this ICMP traffic for this particular host 50.0.0.2, and we don't want this machine to ping to this host 151.10.2.3, right? So we'll have to create one more access list in which we are going to permit rest of the traffic, right? So let me just go to my global configuration mode, right? IP access list, and we have to give the name. First of all, we have to tell like what type of access list it is, whether it is a standard or the extended. Then we have to give the name, and the name is ping block, right? So now I'm going to create one more access list. So I'm just going to take it as permit, right, ICMP any host, any subnet. That's it. So our access is, has been like completed. So let me just show you. So as you can see this, in the access list we are having two entries. One is for the deny and one is for the permit, right? So unless and until we will not give this permit command, so our ACL is not going to work, right? Now we have to do one more thing here, is that like we have to like enable this access list on my interface, right? So let me just, or in other words, what we can say is we have to configure this access list on our one of the interface, right? Or we can say that we can apply this access list on the interface, right? So we are just going to apply this access list here, because whenever we talk about this extended list, so it is going to be applied near to the source, right? Configure terminal interface FA0/1, right? IP access group and the name ping block. One second. IP access group, and it is asking for the name PING BLOCK. One second, there is something, actually we have to set one more parameter here and then question mark. So this traffic is going to be out, right? So we are just going to forward the traffic from here. So this would be the inward and this is going to be the out, right? So we will say out. So this is done. Let me just save the configuration. Now we will try to ping here to this PC. So as per the objective, it should not ping to this particular device, right? So let me just see this. And if it is not going to ping, then we are just going to troubleshoot this. If there is any error or is there any mistake. Second guys, PING ping 151.10.2.3. So guys, as you can see this, we are getting this destination host unreachable. So we are not able to reach to this particular device. So we will try to ping the other device also. This one 2.2. So we will see if we are able to ping it. So guys, as you can see this, our practical is successfully completed. We are able to ping this device, but we are not able to ping that device which we have denied in our access list, right? So access list has been implemented successfully. Let me just show you. IP has been assigned to this device and we are not able to ping it because of the restriction through access list, right? So let me just conclude this session. So basically why we use this named ACL. So the first benefit of creating this named ACL is we can add the entries in the access list, right? Because as you have seen that, like once when we have created one access list and the system has given that access list as number 10. So if we want to like allow some traffic before that name number, so we can do that, right? As we have shown that, as I showed you, like by creating number 5 and then we have removed it, right? So I hope this is clear to you guys, and if you have any doubt related to any of the access lists, whether it is the standard list, standard ACL or extended ACL or the named ACL, so I think you should be clear with the concept of this named ACL. So with the and this ACL is getting used in all the companies, because it is like with the help of this named ACL we can like do any kind of modification in the access list, right? So bye for now. Thank you for watching my videos, and if you like my videos, I would request you to please subscribe to my channel, and please hit the bell icon also, so that you will be getting all the notifications related to my upcoming videos, right? So thank you once again, and hope to see you soon in my coming video. Thank you very much.